Hey, what's up? So for a while now I've been wanting to take Betty's engine apart just to see what the porting's like and what kind of condition it is inside. So yeah, hang on tight, here we go. Well, the head's come off with quite a struggle. It was on there pretty tight. Interesting combustion chamber. Doesn't have much of a squish band. And there's no head gasket, so that's quite interesting. Obviously freaking filthy dirty. You just turn this back. I can have a look at the bore. Not so easy with one hand. Some marks there. Not ideal. But yeah, well, let's see if I can get the jug to come off. Well, the jug came off quite easily. You can see it's nice and dirty. Transfer ports look pretty cool, nice and big, at least on the crankcase side. Exhaust ports also fairly decent. Inside doesn't look very good. It's got a couple of scratches and marks and quite a few water marks. So it's obviously stood with water in the cylinder for a while. But yeah, this is probably going to be the major problem though. So as suspected, poor Betty has been abused in her life. You see the intake side's quite nice and clean, and it always gets cooled by the intake charge. The exhaust side of the piston unfortunately has been close to seizing many times. It's also got a bunch of scratches, quite deep ones. And it looks almost like someone shoved something in the exhaust port at a stage to try and clean it up. The rings also have marks on them, and in general it doesn't look very good. So I'm going to have to see whether I can find a new one of those. It might be a bit of a mission, but anyway. Yeah, crankcase, well, it looks fairly good. The crank itself is a little bit rusty. Obviously it's also had water in there. But yeah, that's as far as I'm going to go for now. Well, I got a little carried away and carried on stripping. So I've taken the clutch apart. That was quite interesting. It's got a big clip that holds it all together. That fits into a groove over here. Anyway, so when that clip came off, everything shot across the room. So very interesting. Anyway, you can see here why the clutch was sticky when we first tried to start it. You see the surface rust here, and if we look at the discs and the clutch plates here, you can see the same surface rust there. So obviously there was a little bit of water in the oil, and then just from standing for so long, it formed a bit of rust there and sort of glued everything together. So we'll just give that a little bit of clean up before we put it all back together. I'm currently waiting for a special puller to be able to pull off this primary drive, and then we will go further. Everything's off on the other side. So that's all out there, so, except for the pinion, but that shouldn't be too difficult to pull off. Yeah, and then once it's open completely, we'll have a look inside, check what the gearbox is like, and hopefully get to these pesky main bearings. They, I don't know if you've noticed, but in some of the other videos of Betty idling, you can definitely hear quite a serious rumble from the engine itself, and that's, I'm suspecting, is those main bearings. So yeah, join me again when I get it apart. Well, it fits. So I'll see whether it'll pull it off now. Well, it's come off quite easily, but I was not expecting it to have a thrush washer on the back. So all the little ball bearings have fallen out. I don't think I've lost any, but yeah, that's quite interesting. I'll carry on going, hopefully not find too many other surprises. Well, that's come off quite easily with no problems. All looks quite nice. The primary gear looks like it's in great condition. There's no chips, there's no water damage, and it hasn't even worked all that much. The gears themselves still show some machining marks, which is awesome. Obviously inside here you can see the rust that stopped the clutch from working properly initially when we first tried to start it. And that I'll just clean up with a bit of water paper or steel wool or whatever before I assemble it again. But yeah, now this gives me a chance to get cracking and strip down the rest. So I moved on to the pinion gear. It was bloody tight. But what's quite interesting is this is a piece of the woodruff key in the taper. And there's the other piece. So I'm not sure what's happened here. That's stuck in the keyway. It looks like it's been sort of snapped off. The casing here is also damaged, so I don't know, maybe at some point in this thing's life the chain snapped and got stuck in here, broke the casing, and maybe hit this so hard that it's broken the actual key. I'm going to have to try and get that out. Also, I think the seal's been leaking. You can see it's quite dirty and there's a lot of gunge in here, so that seal might have to get replaced. Hopefully I can find a new one, and then obviously replace both the crankcase seals as well with new bearings. Well, check it out. Finally got the two crankshaft halves apart. It was quite a mission with a couple of the bolts stripping out, so I had to drill them to remove them. The gearbox looks really great. There's no damage or anything there. Everything looks really nice and oiled up and all of that. But the problem comes in here. Check out the crankshaft, all this rust. You can actually see where the water level was at a stage. If I turn this bearing, doesn't sound very good. The gearbox one sounds much better and is much smoother. So those main bearings will have to come out. The rest looks good. Hopefully I can get it all back together properly. I don't think I've missed anything, but yeah, that's always a problem when you don't have a manual. So as you guys can see, I've got the crankshaft out and all the gears and that. I've stripped the casings clean, knocked the bearings out, taken all the seals, all of that out. So next step is to clean everything up, and then once I've got new bearings and seals, I'll show you how we put those in the easy way. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to, leave a comment if there's anything you want to see specifically. Otherwise, see me in the next episode. Ciao, ciao.